Testing, testing. Okay, I guess it's recording. Right now I'm using a wired headset. I'm wired directly to the iPhone. There I go. It's funny how I never clear my throat when I'm not speaking, which is probably what I should always be doing. Only speaking for a podcast, rest of the time just telepathically. Or is that the right word? I think it is. Anyways, how's everybody doing? This is The Brave Traveler, and I'm your host, IR. For the last week, I haven't done much of anything. Well, no. Okay. I seem to be amazing at being a dad. Everything else, terrible. I procrastinate like crazy. I can't seem to get my shit together at all. And yesterday and today, it feels like I mainly just watched YouTube videos and highly enjoyed myself, to be perfectly honest. I had a great time just watching YouTube videos. I wasn't scrolling like crazy like I used to. It was more like I'll find an awesome channel and it'll be addicting. I'll just want to watch more and more. Like I saw this one dude who does like prank magic tricks on Omegle, now Omi TB, and they were really funny. They were really interesting. It sparked my childish interest. Well, childish. I mean, since I was a child, in magic. I've always wanted to know how to master the sleight of hand tricks with cards, coins, all that stuff. And if I ever get my shit together, I would love to try learning that. I'm sure it's not impossible. I remember a long time ago, I learned a couple of things that I couldn't do as a kid from watching YouTube videos, actually. As a kid, my mother used to call me by doing this high-pitched whistle that only she could do. She doesn't use her hands or anything. She'll just move her lips in a certain way and just... I can't do it. And I thought, you know what, I've always wanted to learn. I hate that I can't whistle. I mean, I can, simple style of whistling. I can, nothing spectacular though. And I've met some great fucking whistlers. I mean, they can do what I just did, but like actually make music out of it. I mean, shit. Anyways, the video I saw on YouTube was where you make the OK sign with your hands. You stick that in your mouth. You put your tongue against your index and your thumb, and you just blow, and it sounds really loud. That's my only ability that I know how to do, that not too many people know how. And it's actually really, really friggin' easy. What's the other thing I learned on there? I learned how to spin a sword. I grew up watching Hercules and Xena, so of course I wanted to do that. I watched a video on how to juggle. I actually learned how to juggle 3 balls at once. I can't do more. The three is pretty good, I think. Um, and I never mastered it. I could just do it better than an average person, but I never took the time to master it because whenever I would practice, and it took me a really long time of practicing just to get better than average. But I might last like mm, not even a minute, maybe close to a minute on a good day juggling, and that's it. I'll eventually just drop one or whatever. It what usually gets me is when I won't send the ball up and down. I'll send it up and forward, and I'll have to chase it, and then I'll eventually lose it. So I don't know why I didn't think of doing this before, but I always wanted to learn to like shuffle a coin between your fingers. I have no idea how to do that. I'd like to do that. Um, Simple magic tricks would be fun to learn, like making the coin disappear. Yeah, that would be fun. There's not too many little tricks that I know how to do, um, other than skateboarding. And I mean, the biggest trick I know how to do is not fall. That's it. I don't know how to jump or anything. Let's see. I know how to yo-yo. I I learned that when I was 16 from watching my cousins do it. Just from watching it. Uh, what else can I even do? I don't know. I'm sure I could do a lot of useless things. I'm good at that. Useless things are my forte. I'm a good karaoke singer. I had stopped practicing, like, honestly, like a year ago. And before that, I used to practice every day for years. And so my voice got a lot stronger. I don't know how to describe it. It sounded smoother than it would otherwise if I'm not practicing. I started up again. I had stopped because I don't know, man. I think that when you're with the wrong people, wrong friends, wrong partners, whatever, it kind of fucks with your frequencies. I don't know if you've ever been around a person like that where you just can't even think when they're in your presence or when they're just talking to you. It's like you just forgot everything else that mattered to you. Now it's a jumble of of it's a recipe for ADHD basically. Um, and My last relationship was like that. Um, Although thankfully I'm older now and I didn't steer our metaphorical vehicle into crashing into a wall just to have it end. Thankfully, I just basically just stopped messaging her, stopped talking to her, and she took a hint. And and I know, you might think like, oh man, you should have been an adult, and I tried that several times. And honestly, I think I now understand why some people don't opt for, let's talk about this like adults so we can part in peaceful, friendly ways. No, it's just flat out, I don't like you, bye, blocked. As childish as that may seem on the surface, I think it might just be the best way to go about it. Obviously it depends on who you're dealing with. If you don't know who you're dealing with and you're actually treating someone, like there's something they're not, and that can also happen, right? I mean, some people just sort of get real comfortable with a style of doing things. Like, I think that if someone is mature enough that they can handle the breakup, yeah, go for it. Talk like a human being, like an adult. Just say, we're too different. Understood, perfect. Maybe later we could try being friends. Whatever. But if you know that person is not going to handle it that way, they're not going to take it that way, they're going to snap and try to guilt you and just become belligerent and maybe violent, then yeah, I get it. You have to ghost them. There's no other way. Anyways, fuck relationships, honestly. I mean, if you find the one, wonderful. Wonderful for you. But otherwise, just wait. That's what I'm gonna do. Which does sort of, I don't know, there's this internal, like, messaging that's kind of out of fear, of course. It's kind of saying, like, but the more you wait, the older you'll get. The older you get, the less the less people will want to be with you. And that's true, and it's also not true. The amount of people that might want to be with you right off the bat is probably going to be less, because if you look older, ooh, that's not in style. Fuck you. But that's the way it is. That's fine. That's the programming we have in society. But obviously, if you're famous, that doesn't apply. If you're rich, it really doesn't fucking apply. I think that as you get older, you stop wanting to be with everyone. You start realizing that you really don't want to be with everyone. Everyone isn't the type of person you want to be with, you want to associate with. You start to understand your own personal needs. You start to recognize that you have your own way of seeing things, of understanding things. You know what you want and what you don't want. Let's not compromise unless it's beneficial. Man. I saw the weirdest YouTube channel. Again, it was like a string of channels that are solely based off of meeting different people on Omegle, now Omi TV. One was Vladimir, and he dresses up as a cute e-girl, e-gamer girl, or whatever the fuck. And he does the little girl voice, and then as soon as he traps these thirsty guys, he hits them with a big reveal of like, "What are you talking about, my brother?" So fucking funny. And he's got a hot girlfriend. I you know, I think it's great that whenever I see couples working on a channel together, I always wonder, like, how do you fucking not let work get in the middle of your relationship? I mean, it's wonderful if it's something funny and enjoyable and goofy and, nothing at all close to serious. So there's a different YouTube channel that has a couple working on it. Mind Unveiled, right? You had the dude, he calls himself Soul, and you have his girlfriend, pretty sure that's his girlfriend, not wife, and she calls herself Moon. Great. And they both seem to be fucking geniuses. But what they do is incredibly, like, heady, sophisticated. I don't know. It seems like sacred, even. Where, how do you not let your emotions get in the way in that kind of channel? I mean, I think Mind and Veil has, I don't know, established themselves in the truther community, conspiracy theories, just unveiling the mind. And I mean, when you hear him in the videos, he often talks like he's kind of monotone, and he's a little bit indifferent to the amazing things that he's talking about and revealing. And every now and then you kind of get the hint of an emotion, but really it's so monotone that I think he's doing it on purpose. I mean, there's a couple of times where I've heard his voice sort of change, and that makes me wonder, like, is he using some kind of a voice modifier or whatever the fuck? I'm not sure. It's possible. I mean, I'm not sure. But regardless of him using a voice changer or not, I don't think that that's his regular tone. There was one video, and I know because I've seen each one of his fucking videos. There was one video where he's out with Moon. I think they're on vacation or something, and they're like in it's not a forest, but I mean there's a lot of greenery and trees all around, and they're physically there recording, and I can hear his voice in the way he talks, and it's not at all the same tone as when he's just, doing a voiceover on the video. And made me wonder, like, what is the purpose of that? And I think, and he probably agrees, that the more under control you sound, the more credible what you're proposing seems to be. And he's flat out laying the evidence out for everybody and anybody to check it out. So I'm pretty fucking sure that he doesn't just see it as like what do you think of this theory, but more like, this is the fucking truth and I'm letting you all know. And he doesn't want to jeopardize it by, I don't know, getting too emotional and being like, you see that shit? His videos and Moon's, I have no idea how much they both do, because as far as I know, they have never fully come out and like, so I do most of it, but she does some of it. Or it's the other way around. She does most of it and he only does the voiceovers. I have no idea if it's a 50-50. I have no idea. When they've talked about their background, it sounds like they're both pretty genius or related to geniuses. So, yeah, I have no idea. I guess they don't want to reveal that. But whatever it is, the dynamic works. And, or at least I think it does. I have no idea. I mean, you saw, if you know who the XKCD hat guy is, he seemed like a child genius, and then he grew up to be, well, not what I expected. Very impressive video he uploaded when he was a lot younger explaining the fourth dimension. Very impressive. And then he looked like he was gonna grow up to look like a fucking teen model or some shit. And then he gained weight, which, you know, I'm not hating on him for that. I don't know why it happened, but it might have been because of COVID lockdown. I have a friend who used to be like in amazing shape because he went to the gym all the time. And when COVID happened, he couldn't go to the gym anymore. Obviously, most people didn't even go out much. And he continued to eat in the same style as he used to when he worked out a lot, which is understandable. I mean, when you get used to it, you just keep doing it, even if you stop doing what you're supposed to. He gained a lot of weight, so maybe the same thing happened. No idea. Anyways, the XKCD hat guy, I wonder what his real fucking name is. It'd be a lot easier. Anyways, that dude magically lost all the weight. That guy's fucking amazing. And there's another video that he posted up after that one. Like maybe 2 years ago? 3? Not sure. He told everybody that they should really start eating raw red onions or purple onions. I don't know. Whatever. They look purple to me. They don't look fucking red. Anyways. And he explained it in video game terms. It was so fucking awesome. I'd never seen anything like that. I loved it because I knew that he was fucking serious. And he was still explaining it as though it's a video game. That way, nobody would know what he was saying, except, you know, if you paid attention, you'd be like, okay, I know what he's saying. It was brilliant. You need to watch that video. It's such a fucking good video. I think I especially liked it because I was already doing that. I have no idea why. I just had this fucking crazy ass feeling. I don't think I saw it anywhere. I just felt like this tastes better when I don't cook it. The purple onions. Fuck you if you think they're red. They're purple. And it just tasted better that way. Except at that time, I wasn't removing pesticides. Like, I would just rinse it, you know. And then since I removed the outer layer, I kind of felt like, well, that's clean enough, right? I didn't know how to fucking remove pesticides till just not too long ago. Baking soda, white vinegar, 5 minutes. Yeah. I got the Book of Wisdom like a week ago. As soon as I got it, I started, going through the pages and all that. I love all the pictures. It's fucking amazing. The dude that wrote it, his name's on the cover, I believe. Oh, look at that. He's selling it on Etsy as well. Cool. 75 fucking dollars. Are you kidding me? It can't be right. Come on. Looking for the name. Written by Harry B. Joseph? Harry B. Harry B. Harry. It's a Harry. I wonder if that's his real name or if he's just fucking trolling. Harry, as in too much hair. B, as in, well, I'll let you decide. Joseph. I-O Seth. I don't know. I haven't seen his face. So I'm going to just assume this is not his actual name. Otherwise, I don't know. Why would you give your name and not show your face? From what I've seen in his book of Wisdom, Volume 1, and I think there's a second volume coming out shortly, if it's not already out. What I've seen in the book, there's so much fucking logic. It is just hard to deny the shit in his fucking book. And I mean that with respect because it's amazing. This fucking book is amazing. I haven't read it yet because I have no fucking clue. This past week, I didn't get to spend much time with my daughter, and at the same time, I did. It's hard to explain. Normally, I'm with my daughter Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, the court said that I get to have her from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. But her mother, who has broken these rules several times when she just fucking feels like it, not once has she been reprimanded for it. I've taken her to court several times. Usually what she'll do is she'll just sort of pretend that we can privately fix these matters without having to go to court. I'll say, okay, and then she'll, slowly, gently, but surely start to become just a shit, horrible monster, tyrant, dictator. That's her thing. And I can't really blame her for it. I mean, it's on the news, it's on the movies, on the television, it's in the music, it's in our daily lives where we see it in person regularly. Women can now do whatever they want. And as long as the reason for whatever they did was because emotions, then it's okay. It's understandable. As long as they're not trying to get their way or trying to fuck with an official, a cop, a judge. As long as they're not doing that, then it's fine. Oh, you broke that guy's nose because you were upset. Well, that's fine. So he better not be the judge that she's acting like a bitch to. It better not be a cop that she's losing control with. And I'm not even sure if a person with money has any chance to win in a legal battle. Uh, Maybe? Those would be the only exceptions. I sympathize with women because I think I know that if the tables were turned and we didn't live in a world that uh, flat out told everyone that women are better and men are just second class, um, and if it's not being told directly with words, it's through actions, right? I think everybody knows that men get harsher sentences compared to the ones being handed out to women for the same crime. And that alone, I think, is enough to let everybody know that we are not getting closer to equality, utopia, and it's probably not going to happen. But that's fine. It's a nice dream. We can kind of see what it looked like, what it would look like, in Star Trek. I love Star Trek, by the way. I think it was because of stories, the kind of stories where it didn't matter what you were, didn't matter your gender, didn't matter your race, or even if you were human. There was something greater, more important than any of that, which was learning, discovery, understanding, making connections, helping, being a part of a group, community, a member of a society that works as a whole, as a unit. That's definitely why Star Trek is my number one favorite show, and I put that right next to Dragon Ball. Probably for the same reasons, although it's displayed in a different manner. Goku is always able to turn an enemy into a friend. I love that. I mean, Frieza's a piece of shit, right? He's like a real fucking piece of shit. But by the end of Dragon Ball Super, you're fucking rooting for him. You're seeing the impossible happen. And I still remember that. It was a fucking moment for me. I think because, I've said it before, American society, the people that control it, always want everybody to think that a bad guy is a bad guy, always and forever, and a good guy is a good guy. When, it's bullshit. It's a lie. Everyone is a good guy. And everyone has the capability to be a bad guy. Or has been, or will be at one point or another. couldn't finish what I was saying. I wonder how many times I've done that. Like, I'll start talking about something, and then it'll be much later on that I'll realize, hey, I didn't finish saying that thing right there. Okay, so as I was saying, this past week, I got to see my daughter um, on the days I was supposed to, but instead of from 10 to 9, and then eventually she had changed that um, 2 years ago. She changed it from 10 to 9 to 12 to 8. So she took 3 hours off, and she's not like balancing them out or anything like that. Now that my daughter's in the third grade, she said, well, she's going to get out even later now. You know how I used to pick her up at 12? Well, now you pick her up at 4. So pick her up at 4 and take her back at 8. That's just 4 hours. So that was rough. Even more rough when, and she is a piece of shit. I'm holding back, not just cursing her out nonstop, because I don't think that's a lot of fun, but try to picture it from my point of view. My daughter's my family. She's the best. I love her. She's my genuine happiness. And here's this person who gets to have her way when she's upset, when she feels like being a bitch, and just says to me, well, guess what? Now you're going to see her less. That last time that I did take her to court, it took fucking 2 years. I shit you not. 2 years for me to actually start getting information that the court date was now set and we're getting ready to go to court. Which, interestingly enough, is when she decided to say, okay, you can see her. The problem was that she had started a relationship with someone else, and she felt that it was her right to say, no, you're not the dad, he's the dad now. I, of course, disagreed by suing her. Of course, I mean, like 2 fucking years. But see, my shitty mother at the time knew that since it was already established by a legal court, by a judge, my visitation rights, she can't alter them. In fact, she's breaking the law, just deciding on the spot. Now, what I didn't know that old lady did is that I could have made a police report 4 times. Every time that I went to see my daughter on the day I'm supposed to be with her, and they don't let me make police report. The 4th time, they have to physically make those people. I didn't know that. I know that now. If she ever does that, it's exactly what I'm going to do. not only that, right? I mean, if she does that and I have to make all those police reports, I'm gonna also sue her, and I'm not ever gonna fucking settle. Well, maybe I'd settle, but what I'm saying is, I would not cancel the lawsuit again like I did last time because, yeah, we're not gonna go through that twice. Not the same, at least. But okay, so I was told that it would only be for 2 weeks. That this shit with the fucked up hours would only be for like the first 2 weeks of school. So we'll see how this next week goes. I have no idea. So I guess I am pretty like upset and pissed off, and maybe that's why I procrastinated like crazy this weekend, and I just chose not to play any video games on Twitch. I thought about it. I thought about it a lot. Um, what did I even fucking do this weekend? I saw that my grass is coming in. I'm very happy and excited about that. I can't wait to finally be able to fucking walk on grass again. It's just barely sprouting out of the dirt, but I mean you can see it. It's green. It's maybe an inch. I think. Well, I don't know. I mean, does grass grow in the winter in this country? I have no idea. We'll find out. But I'm excited for that. It looks really nice. So much better than just fucking dirt. No offense to dirt, but fuck you, dirt. What else? The outside of my house looks amazing. Like the backyard, the front yard, it's just so fucking decorated. It looks beautiful. I have a ton of plants, not in the ground. Obviously, I don't have that much ground, but or dirt, I should say. They're like all in pots. I even have a palm tree. Yeah, two actually. So it just feels nice outside now, you know. Inside, I mean, I have two bedrooms. Um, my living room and dining room are the same room. Uh, and then the kitchen is pretty much just like a corner. I have three bathrooms. No, no, no. Three restrooms, one bathroom. You know what I mean? Like there's three toilets, one shower, which is fine. I guess that's, it's normal. Uh, I don't know what the fuck you call this. There's a room separated from the house in the backyard. It has a toilet room, restroom, but it's like a storage area. It's like a storage room. It has the hookups for the washer and dryer, which I still haven't fucking bought. If I hadn't have had one in the house before last, I wouldn't have known that there was a washer dryer machine like stacked on top of each other. It's one machine. I loved it. It's especially here where everything is tiny. Rooms are tiny, short. I hate it. So you really don't want anything that takes up a lot of space because it's gonna be fucking hell. Um, I think that washer dryer combo machine would be awesome. I've seen it on Marketplace, but people usually want like $400 or $500 for that, which sounds reasonable, I think. It's just not in my fucking budget. I don't know why I can't fucking think. Because, I mean, like, I exercise, I meditate. I think it's the stress. That's what it is. I mean, as soon as I see my non-parents, I can't help but like feel an incredible amount of disappointment. I swear. I heard that Trump and Kamala had their fucking presidential debate bullshit. I didn't watch it. I didn't even watch other people, you know, who might review it. If I did, it was like a few seconds, and I heard some stupid shit that Trump was saying that people are stealing and eating cats and dogs. Okay. Like, damn, that sucks. I had a pet that got killed by a neighbor's dog, and I wish I had killed the motherfucking dog just to get those people. I mean, obviously, I wish I could kill the fucking neighbors. But, you know, if they had, if a human had eaten my cat, how would I have felt then? Well, I would think, one, they're on drugs. That's what I would think. If somehow I found out that they weren't on drugs, then I would think they're from some other country where doing that is normal. Those are the only two options that I can think of. You're doing drugs, something really fucking insane to the point where all of a sudden your brain says, you know, eating a cat sounds so good right now. Or you're hungry and you come from a country where that's normal. So if it's that one, what can you do? You know? What do you do if there's a foreigner that comes from a country where eating cats and dogs is not a big deal? It's fucking normal. Boy. In the moment, I think I'd want to kill that person. But since I'm not in the moment, I can sort of look at the situation and just be like, well, that's fucked up. I really loved my pet. I'm not a fan of this person, but I get it. They didn't know any better. They're new in town, in the country. They don't know that We love our pets. We don't want people to fucking eat them. Um, Jeez. What are your options? Do you sue this person? Do they even have money if they're stealing pets as food? Can you put charges? Is that a criminal offense? Because if somebody's pet kills your pet, it's apparently not a motherfucking crime. You could take that person to court, which I would have appreciated. Uh-huh. I think you can do that. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Should have fucking done that. When you don't got money, man. Fuck you. I kind of feel that Trump was lying. I kind of feel that. Although I kind of feel like Trump is always lying, which is not an endorsement for Kamala because she is just there's something so fucking phony there. Honestly, I'd rather Trump be in charge than fucking Kamala. Not that I even believe in the whole presidency bullshit. I just know it's a mascot. It's like, yes, you see Mickey Mouse at the front of everything that the studio does, or at least they used to. But I never once believed he did it. He's the guy that's doing everything, that cartoon doodle. And honestly, the president shit, that's the same. It's the fucking same. And here's what I mean by the same. If you go for program Trump, you're going to get this packet of stuff going on in the next 4 years. If you go for Kamala's packet, program, bullshit, you're going to get a different situation going on. But I'm pretty sure it's all planned out. So that's why I tune out. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. I mean, here's why you should read the news and why I don't. You should read the news because you're in society and you have too many people around you that you have to deal with. You have to deal with what they care about, what they're talking about. You have to appear normal. And normal in this stupid ass society means that you know about the things that our scumbag leaders tell us we should consider to be important. You got to know all that stuff. You got to know who won the Super Bowl. You got to know about the most famous celebrities today. You got to know who's popular in politics. You got to know the highlights around the world. I mean, the known world. It's all bullshit, really. I mean, it's all connected. It's all one thing. You know how they're constantly bullshitting with us that, oh, you know, this hidden group of people, you know what they want. They want a central world government. Like they don't already have it. That reminds me of the ending of Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. You know, where Ozymandias, or however the fuck you say his name, he's gonna kill like a bunch of people in New York City, and Rorschach's gonna save the motherfucking day and beat the shit out of that motherfucker. It doesn't matter how big he is. Fuck you, Ozymandias. And he explains his fucking plan and what he's doing and why. And Rorschach's like, "You fucking crazy, man. We're gonna stop you." And then Ozymandias like, "What are you talking about? I already did it like 30 minutes ago. You think I'd give you a chance to stop me? Ha! That's exactly it. That's exactly our situation right now. We're pretending that the motherfucking NWO isn't already in effect. Isn't our everyday reality. We're pretending that that's just right around the corner. They're trying to do this. It's like, oh my God, it's so stupid. I saw an interesting video the other day, probably yesterday, that kind of fucked me up. I mean, it's amazing, it's incredible, it's humbling, but it's also despairing a little bit. I mean, I'll get over it, but still, it's incredible. I saw the new, I think it was like 5 minute video of Vibes of Cosmo, where they're showing off the map of Mars, and how do I explain this one? If you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel known as Vibes of Cosmos, I suggest you do. I also suggest that you buy their books, the PDF version, because shipping is a bitch. I would love to own a hard copy of Vibes of Cosmos, except the shipping. They're in Europe. I'm pretty sure they're in Europe, but they could be in like Russia. I have no idea. They're in that place. They're in Eurasia, whatever. So shipping is a bitch. Might as well just get the PDF version. Absolutely, it's worth it. And it's like $10, I think. Anyways, if you don't want to get the PDF version, watch the videos. So fucking amazing. Once you've seen enough of those, watch the latest video, the map of Mars, then you'll understand. I don't really know how or why I stumbled across that channel. All I can say is that in December of 2017, I had a pizza delivery job, and I was out taking a delivery when I saw something in the sky. It was huge, fucking huge, and it lit up the sky. Everyone was outside, not moving, just staring up. This thing appeared to be one machine, and when it got up high enough, a second machine popped up out of nowhere, almost like a reflection. And then it seemed like they were getting closer and yet further away, but mimicking each other like a mirror. And then there were like waves, just gigantic, enormous waves coming out away from the machine, the flying machine. And I remember, because I saw this with my own fucking eyes, man. It was so incredible. I remember that some of these waves, they were rippling, had this ripple effect, and it felt like I was looking at a cartoon, like when you see old cartoons of satellite antennas, the way they draw it in when it's sort of communicating a signal to somewhere else. It was doing this sort of pulsating ripple effect, and I just didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. I think a few days later, it wasn't everywhere on the news like it motherfucking should have been, but it was on Snapchat, like 3 hours away in the city. 3 hours away. No. 4 or 5 hours away. I saw the exact same thing from somebody's Snapchat that lived like 4 or 5 hours away, and it looked the same. It looked just as big. I mean, to me, even though I lived 4 or 5 hours away from that person, that fucking thing looked like it was right on top of us, right on top of my city. Then apparently there was an official statement like, that was just a satellite. That was just Elon Musk's satellite, that's all. Yeah, that was a satellite. Get the fuck out of here. So, Elon is either fucking lying, which is a strong motherfucking possibility, especially if you've seen that fucking 5-hour Freemason video. It's like, shit, yeah, there's something right there. I'm gonna say that he's fucking lying. The other alternative is, like most of us, we're deceived into believing lies, and he has no idea what he's talking about. Like in that bullshit video where there's a car floating. Oh god, this is so stupid. And then he made the dumbest statement, and he never broke character, right? He never just like, oh yeah, you know it's real because it looks so fake. I mean, how the fuck do you hold it together unless you don't really know? So there's a part of me that thinks that he knows some stuff, but not all of it. He's so programmed and so rewarded for being so highly programmed that he's never going to see the truth. So either he already knows it, or he's just incredibly programmed. That's a hard one to know which, you know. I would assume that he's not an actor, but I'm just assuming. I mean, hell, he could be. I don't think he's an actor. I have no fucking clue. I mean, yeah, there's some other weirder explanations like, well, he's not even human. That's how. Maybe that one. So either he's not human, or like most of us, he just doesn't fucking know the truth. He was programmed with the reward system. Here, study this. Take a test. Let's see how much of it you programmed. Oh, you got an A. now you can have this job and earn this much. And so on and so on. Just that's the cycle, that's the routine of keeping people in the dark. I mean, how do you program somebody into self-sabotaging? Well, you teach them how to self-sabotage, but why would anybody want to fucking do that? Well, you give them incentives, like grades, like stickers. You get a star, you get a smiley face, you get a 10, you get 100, you get an A plus, you get a degree, you get a scholarship, you get a job and money and a house that you can't afford, but we'll just give it to you right now. And you get a wife and children and there you go. Incentives. That's how you program people to self-sabotage. How did they do it originally, though? You would think that originally people knew better, right? Well, pretty sure those people got locked up in the nut house. Anybody that said, this is wrong, what they're teaching now is wrong, nut house, you are nuts. Or anybody that had children, and more than likely they weren't going to teach them the new information, the bullshit information. Probably just took their kids and put them in an orphanage or something, where they got reprogrammed, whether they liked it or not. Oh, man. What's the other alternative? Homunculuses? Don't even get me started with the homunculuses. Or what's the plural of homunculus? Homunculi? Probably. I'm not even, no, not going to talk about the homunculus. That is just such a deep, deep rabbit's hole. Because, I mean, yes, right off the bat, you might be like, Jesus! And, yeah. But there's another one. Adam and Eve. Right? So, I don't know. But then what confuses me even more, the map of Mars. Because if the seven heavens, or the seven seals, are basically all in one area, the seven heavens, the seven seals are the seven colors in the rainbow, which represent the seven planets, which is also the 7 days, like it says in Genesis, right? It took 7 days to make everything. And the colors and the planets, which are the 7 heavens, makes me think like if we went to the next dome outside of this one, would there be a missing color? And what color would that be? You would think red would be missing, right? At least that's what I think. Because red's the lowest. It's the root chakra. the Saturn chakra. Well, according to the Harry B. That is not his fucking name. Okay. Anyways. The map of Mars, according to Vibes of Cosmos, has Earth like somewhere in the middle. It's a tiny little speck near an island or something. No, not an island. Near a continent. Except this continent makes our continents look like debris. So fucking tiny. So fucking tiny. Tiny as grasshoppers. Tiny like Jack and the Beanstalk. Tiny. No. Bigger than that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think for most people, this is, just fantasy. It's like, come on, man, that's not real. That's from movies, fairy tales. And, sure, yeah. There's a lot of hidden truth out there, isn't there? Like, even what Jesus said isn't all in the Bible. There's the Gnostic Bible. Jesus is in there as well. You just have a couple of extra characters that you didn't have in the Bible, like the demiurge, the archons, the aeons, the Sophia. I have a copy of that fucking book and I've never read it. And then when somebody just sort of summarized it to me, I was like, oh my god, this shit makes so much sense. So, a lot of cool shit to read. I don't know why I'm being so lazy about just doing the stuff that actually makes me happy. I mean, no wonder I get frustrated or depressed. I hate that word. Feeling unhappy when I'm not doing the stuff that I want to be doing. I think I have an addiction to YouTube. God damn it. There was this fucking motherfucker that was he had a Kermit the Frog puppet and he was trolling stupid losers on Omegle trying to they treat that shit like it's chatter bait. I think that's what it is, chat or masturbate. Which, okay, there's a lot of porn websites, whatever. But I don't know, it's pretty fucking sick, but I how can you not fucking control a website, a live feed website where fucking people are showing off their dick? How do you not control that shit? How do you not have a fucking program that recognizes when there's a child's face on the screen? It's like people should be fucking banned for having children on there. I saw way too many hilarious videos, but a lot of them had kids in the fucking videos. I mean, thankfully, nothing at the time was going on. It was usually a magic trick or a dude dressed as a chick or Kermit the Frog. This is so shitty and depressing. I saw another one where this lady was screaming out the N word, trying to insult somebody else, and her kid was right there. I think that was Vladimir. Yes. And he was like, you shouldn't say that in front of the kid. You want your kid to be saying that too? Now, obviously, in a normal world, somebody would recognize that lady and there would be consequences. Now, I'm not talking about consequences for saying the N word. I mean, there should be, but like social consequences, not, legal consequences. But there should be legal consequences to her doing that in front of the child, acting like an idiot, being a horrible example. It's like, if you abuse your car, the way you use it, the way you drive it, if anybody sees that and records it, that's a legal matter. Why the fuck would you treat a child less important than a motherfucking car? Now let's change this lady bitch's gender and pretend that that was the child's father. Is there any doubt that there would be legal consequences? Not just social consequences, but like, we need to take the child away from the home because it doesn't appear to be a safe environment for them. But it wasn't a father. It was some lady. Not really a lady. And so, oh, well, that's different. She was emotional, so, you gotta understand. And it's like, go fuck yourself with this bullshit narrative. It has to be fair. It has to be logical. We're not the same. But that doesn't mean that one's more important than the other. Especially when you need both. Holy shit! My rant has gone on for longer than I planned it to. I wonder what the fuck I should call this episode. Jesus. Yeah, I should call it Jesus. I'm a fan of Jesus. I have a bunch of portraits that I printed out of motivational people just to sort of find inspiration. Like Gandhi, Dalai Lama was one of them. I don't think I'll be putting that one up again. Alan Moore, Stephen King. Yes, I definitely want to put that one up. Seeing Stephen King's image just always reminds me of that thing he said to George R.R. Martin, that he wakes up early, he works 4 hours a day, and he writes 6 pages a day. It's like, fuck yeah, man. That's incredible. That's not unreasonable. I could easily fucking do the same thing. Why don't I? I want to curse myself out and shake myself a bit. I don't know. I don't know, man. Could it have something to do with the frequencies, the energy, the vibes, the magnetism in this country? Because I did a total 180 coming over here. I mean, I know why I did it, to be closer to my daughter. You see that lady that possesses her at the moment, owns her at the moment, even though it's a crime, let's face it. In America, there is no real law system. It's just a system of opinions, and there is no natural law over here. It's just fuck you cattle, we'll do whatever the fuck we want with you, and shut up and buy. Don't question the scientific. I heard that like 8 years ago or something like that, Germany changed the law and said when you have a child, it doesn't fucking matter if you're even married, you will have shared custody, because that lady isn't the only parent. Just like that guy isn't the only parent. It took two of them, both of them. So America is pretty much like the ninth level of hell. Well, no, that can't be true. I mean, the ninth level of hell is supposed to be freezing, so what level of hell is America? Because it's definitely hell. And if you don't believe that, please visit California. I think you'll soon be convinced. It's a lovely place, but the people are cuckoo, and the government is even worse. And I take it back. The people are nuts because the government makes them nuts. That's honestly the fucking truth. Why are the prices so expensive in California for literally everything you would need to live? Yeah. It's about to be 11 p.m. I should not play a video game. I should not. I should sleep. I should sleep and read. What about my Twitch obligation? I suck. I fucking suck, dude. I could have done it earlier, and I didn't. Because, I don't know. I'm fucking possessed, I guess. I made like a big giant list of shit that I want to do. Important shit. I put some stuff up for sale on eBay. I didn't touch anything on the Nintendo Switch stuff. And I didn't put up any of the amiibos. Okay, so the reason why I didn't touch the Switch games is because I kind of think that Nintendo is eventually going to come out with a new Switch. I don't know if it's called Switch Pro or Switch 2, but a new game system. I think I heard that somewhere. It would be awesome if it's for this year, but I fucking doubt it. Honestly, it just wouldn't make sense. It would not make sense. I feel that it wouldn't make sense to have such a small window of hype. You know what I mean? Like, more realistically, for the holidays, they're gonna announce that there's gonna be a new Nintendo game system. Hopefully not, a Game Boy or some shit like that. No offense, but either it's Switch U, right? Like the Wii and then the Wii U. Switch U! Switch U. Weird. Switch U Pro! Switch Pro U! Switch 2 Pro U! Now, I'm not really excited for the new game system. I don't give a fuck. I mean, so these games are at 1080p. I think that's what I've heard, but it doesn't really matter, I think. I think they look great just the way they are. So I'm not bothered. I'm not impressed. I don't care. I think that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was really fucking impressive. And if that was just 1080p, it was good enough. Didn't need any more. Would it really be such a giant improvement if it was 4K or whatever? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I actually don't think it would be, because if it was specifically made for 1080p, then that's the best. That's what it's compatible with. You try something more than that and it might look like shit because it wasn't meant for 4K. I mean, if it has better quality, great. But again, I'm not desperate for it. I'm pretty happy with just the Switch. Here's my one fucking problem. Just one. I can't stream those games. That's the one main reason why I don't even play the Switch that much anymore. And it's been a while. And I actually have some like really great fucking games on there that I would like to play. And I haven't. I got the Donkey Kong. I got the a couple of the Mario games. The Yoshi, the Toad. I have Skyward Sword. Metroid Prime Remastered. I have that. I haven't finished it. Or the Skyward Sword. And I really wanted to. I actually even had the fucking Family Plan or whatever shit it was, just so I could finally fucking beat Majora's Mask. I've wanted to since I was a teenager, and I didn't. I don't really touch the goddamn Nintendo Switch because it doesn't fucking let me stream. It should have an app for Twitch streaming, and it doesn't. Why? Why, you fuck? Why? So that's the only thing I care about. The only feature I would give a shit about that would make me feel like, okay, the new Nintendo game system lets me stream gameplay. Perfect. And I'm going to buy it by selling the other Switch and maybe a few video games and maybe my amiibo collection. I have Zelda from Ocarina of Time and Zelda from Tears of the Kingdom. I think there's another one. Oh, yeah. I have Zelda from that one game where he looks like a toy, like a perfectly three-dimensional plastic toy. The sequel is coming out later this month. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. I got Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, Toad, and some girl with orange hair from Splatoon 2. 10? I guess I only have 10. Anyways, they're not cheap. I like eBay now because apparently you can put up 250 items for free and you only have to pay if they sell. I sold something that was worth 50 bucks and I walked away with $42. So, damn. Oh well. Money's money, I guess. I have a whole bunch of posters that I've gotten at the comic conventions, autographed. Some are too near and dear to my heart for me to actually part ways with. And some, I think, yeah, I could sell that. I gotta do that. I have not been able to think what the fuck do I even call this one. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking call it Sunday's episode. Oh shit. That is just so much easier. That's lazier. Oh man. No, I can't think. What did we even talk about for the last hour and a half? I don't know. Go to bed. Good night. See y'all later. Bye.